Richland, Texas was a small rural community just outside of Point, Texas. Richland was the host of the African American community where Leo Edwards was born in 1919. From a patrilineal vantage point, this is the small rural community where his great-grandparents settled after they were relocated from their respective birthplaces. Lewis Edwards was born a slave in June 1841 in Mississippi. His wife, Matilda, was born on May 15, 1848 in Virginia. Lewis and Matilda Edwards had 13 children. They were Fanny Edwards, born in 1869, John Edwards, born in 1870, Ellen Edwards, born in 1873, Robert Edwards, born in 1875, William Edwards, born in 1878, Frank Edwards, born in 1880, Seymour Edwards, born in 1883, James Edwards, born in 1886, Cleveland Edwards, born in 1888, Tyne Edwards, born in 1890, Andrew Edwards, born in 1892, Eddie Edwards, birth year unknown, and Eliza Edwards, whose birth year is also unknown. There is no documented information regarding the parents of Lewis Edwards. However, Matilda's parents were Frank Davis, who was born in Virginia in 1813, and Louisa Williamson, who also resided in Virginia. It is extremely likely that Louisa Williamson was born in the second decade of the 19th century. There are countless descendants of Lewis and Matilda Edwards. Judging by the size of their family, it would be difficult to provide a detailed listing of the patrilineal descent. As the family has attempted to discover their heritage as descendants of Lewis and Matilda Edwards, it is remarkable that they can definitively trace their lineage prior to the Emancipation Proclamation and know from absolute certainty that the recording of family history was an important element in the preservation of history. It should also be mentioned that Ancestry.com is a remarkable tool in discovering data associated with census information, death records, and other information that is readily available today and would not have existed a mere 2 decades ago. According to Anthony Edwards Sr., the great-grandson of Lewis and Matilda Edwards, storytelling was a significant part in internalizing just what it was like growing up in abject poverty in a rural community in Jim Crow America in the late 19th to mid-20th century. He remembers the visits there with his own parents as they drove down dirt roads where small 2- to 3-room dilapidated houses where his grandparents and uncles lived. His most unforgettable experience was attending the funeral of Seymour Edwards, his dad's uncle. Because there were no funeral homes that served African Americans in small towns like Point, families would place the casket in the dining area before taking the body to the church for the funeral. Imagine being an 11-year-old walking through an old house watching relatives eat at the dinner table and seeing Uncle Seymour laying in the casket along the wall, within arm's reach to everyone in the room.